What is horizontal motion? From the way you walk, run, when you're riding on the way to school or work, when you drag your bag towards you or push heavy objects. It is when there's the food you're rolling or you see someone cycling. It could even be the water flowing or a fishing boat sailing. What is common among these motions? You see, they all move along what we call the x-axis, or the axis that is parallel to the ground or to the horizon, and so we call it the horizontal motion. When we say motion, we are referring to movement, the processes of moving, transporting, or transferring matter from one point to another. From this, we conclude that horizontal motion is the movement of a body or matter from one point to another along the x-axis. The total measurement of the length or the amount of space covered through the movement of this certain matter or object from one point to another is what we call the distance. However, if we only want to measure the length between an object's starting point and an object's end point, then we are referring to its displacement. The Earth may be moving in a rotational motion, and so no motion parallel to the horizon or to the ground is truly moving in a straight horizontal line. But with the Earth's unarguably large size, the motions we usually refer to are from relatively very short displacements enough to be considered flat. Now, horizontal motion is measured in a lot of ways. One common way of measuring it is by defining its speed or velocity. Speed is defined as the rate at which someone or something is able to move or operate. In physics, it is the distance traveled per unit of time. Additionally, if we consider the direction of this speed, then it is what we call velocity. Basically, speed is the magnitude of velocity. Say, for example, you are walking through the hallway. From your starting point up to your end point, you walked a total distance of 10 meters. Let's say it took you 20 seconds to walk that 10 meters. Therefore, you have traveled a total of 10 meters in 20 seconds. That is your speed. If you want to simplify the speed you have traveled, simply divide your distance with your time. Therefore, you have actually traveled 0.5 meters per second. This now means that for every 1 second, you have traveled a distance of 0.5 meters. But since you traveled for 20 seconds, the distance you have traveled is also multiplied by 20, making your distance covered to be 10 meters. From this knowledge, we understand that the formula for speed is distance divided by time. Now what if, from walking a slow speed of 0.5 meters per second, you suddenly realize that you are running late? At the thought, let's say in just a matter of a second, you quickly started to run. In 1 minute, or in other terms, 60 seconds, you were able to reach your room that was supposedly 60 meters away. Therefore, you have now traveled 60 meters in 60 seconds. Or simply, you now have a new speed of 1 meter per second. From this scenario, we can say that in 1 second, you were able to have a change in speed or a change in velocity from 0.5 meters per second to 1 meter per second. This change of velocity was because you started running, or in other terms, accelerating. This means that acceleration has happened. Therefore, acceleration means the change of velocity in a given amount of time. When we say change, it means there is a difference, and difference is the result of subtraction. Therefore, we can describe the formula for acceleration as the difference of velocity in a given amount of time. So the next time you take a step, or ride a vehicle, or push an object, or whatever motion that made use of distance and time and is moving parallel to the horizon, remember, that is what we call horizontal motion.